Hello ladies, Mary Hills. I'm running a little bit late, but I wanted to come to you live again. This is the Breakthrough to Self-Love group. And I'm so glad you are here. I'm hoping some ladies join us so we can have a discussion again. And I'm excited that we're going to have an event tomorrow, which is wonderful. Event for, I call it the Wheel of Life, and it's going to be an open discussion, and we're going to use Zoom, and hopefully you ladies have registered for the event, because its registration is right below on the event page. And damn, can't get any sound when you speak up, when you speak, so upset. Can you hear me now? Good to see you, Kim. Nice to know somebody's out there. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me now. I'm always high energy. You know that, Kim. You know me a long time. Anyways, I'm going to do an event tomorrow for the private group of women, and we're going to use Zoom, which you have to register for. And I think it's at 6 o'clock or 6:30. Yeah, 6:30. And we're going to use the Zoom app, and that means you register, and what we'll do is we'll all be live, so we can all see each other, have a discussion, and all that other stuff, so it's not just a, like kind of a one-way conversation like it is live here. So I thought it would be a great segue, as they call it, into doing some webinars, possibly the end of the month or the beginning of next month. I'm not sure which will come first. But I wanted to first talk about what my mentor talked to me about is gremlins. And when you start making decisions in your life, well, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that, the gremlins or the inner voice tells us things to the contrary. And they just want to basically take away our power and our voice. If we listen to them. Now, I just did I do free breakthrough calls. They're scheduled calls, and there's about 45 minutes, and we pretty much break through just a couple of inner blocks that are causing you to move forward, depending upon your particular situation. And it was a wonderful breakthrough call we did last week, and sometimes people feel after they do the breakthrough call that they want to enroll in the program that I created that basically brings women. It's a 12-week program, and it's an investment of time and resources, but it definitely has helped a lot of people, and especially myself, create the kind of life they really want deep down inside, but they've let the gremlins, if you will, steal it from you. Anyways, so we were getting ready to enroll her in the program on Monday, and she reneged because she let the gremlins get the best of her. Now, I know all about that. I mean, I still hear the gremlins once in a while, but they're not rumbling so loud anymore because I've worked a lot on my mindset through a lot of the videos. We talk about getting clear on your mindset, getting clear on what your triggers are and all that other stuff, which leads you to find out how your particular mind works, and how it's creating the life that you have around you, whether it's good or bad or whatever is going on around you. So anyways, she let the gremlins win. And she didn't say yes to herself. Now, if I didn't say yes to myself a while ago, when my brother took his own life, I probably wouldn't be here at this point in my life. Because I was in a bad place several years ago when my brother was. But he took his own life, and as a result of his taking his life, it was kind of my jump off place to make a decision that I am going to take my life back no matter what. and I'm going to live it. And once you make that decision, then you can move forward. But you have to make a decision, and then life just gives you what you need to continue making good on the decision that you made. But until you make that decision, nothing's going to change. But then in the process of all of that, yeah, your gremlins are going to come up, and they're going to fuck with you and tell you all kinds of shit to try to take you out of the game. These gremlins are just our inner voices and brainwashings that we've heard over the years, that they tell a story about ourselves that none of them really have any meaning whatsoever. So with the work that, the two coaches that I have a coach for my business, and I have a coach to work on manifesting mindsets. And the thing that I've been studying a man called Neville Goddard, and that man just changed my life. But he talks a lot about your mind, how it works, and working on what your triggers are, because once you find out, what your triggers are, then you can start creating what they call a little wiggle room. And then from there, then you can start creating the kind of life that you want. And it sounds real easy, but it's really not. But it's definitely worth the magical ride, I like to call it, because my life has drastically changed. People's lives have changed around me before I even created this program, because I had already been doing this stuff, but I never put it all together until this past year. And the changes that have happened, people have started their own businesses, people that have gotten themselves back, people have gotten their health back, their mental health, and their all the health issues have their health issues. I'm not going to say they're cured, but they're well on their way, because a lot of problems arise. Most of them arise from the way that your mind works. And until you know how that's working for you, nothing really moves forward. Anyways, Kim, can you hear me? What do you think of what I'm saying? On some of the lessons that I go into on here, we talk a lot about finding your triggers. But the first step is looking around in your life, seeing what's going on, whether it's chaos, drama, or whatever the issues are in your life. And then what I like to call owning them, because it's once you own them and say, you start to look at yourself and ask the question that was asked me many months ago, that probably it definitely changed my life, which was, what do you have to believe about life and yourself to be creating the shit that's around you? Whether it's chaos, drama, sickness, mental issues, whatever the thing is, what do you have to believe that could be causing it? And when I looked at that, and I didn't want to, and I was really pissed off because I didn't want to hear that I was responsible for what was around me. I wanted to blame everybody else. I wanted to blame everything outside of myself. I wanted to blame, my parenting, all of that other shit. And I didn't want to take responsibility, although I have been studying that for years and had a real deep knowledge that we do, in fact, create our lives. So that means if we're creating our lives, then we do, in fact, create the hell of our lives, or the drama, or the chaos, or the other shit that's going on. And it's a hard nut to swallow. It really is, because you have to really own that. And from there, my life changed drastically. And then I was able to actually put a program together that I have in my group to help women get back to themselves and break through the shit that we cause. But because it's all a mind, it's all in all mindset work that needs to be done, and nothing can change until you do this mindset work and get back to yourselves and get back to the person you are meant to be. And I don't see many people on here tonight, which is disheartening, but I try to come on here live every night at 5 o'clock to talk about some of this stuff. And I wanted to talk about the gremlins, because they come to steal. The gremlins come to steal your dreams and your voice, and take your dreams away from you, and they're pretty powerful. And I get pretty pissed off at them, because I've seen them take a lot of people's dreams, and I know they come and screw with me a lot. And they're still there, but they're not as loud. These voices that used to tell me all of this shit about stuff that was going on in my life. Well, it's good to see you here. Nice to see you here, Darlene. And there are big time gremlins out there that definitely want to take your voice and take your life if you listen to them. And they've tried to take me out a lot, many times, but I don't give them any power anymore, because I clearly did a lot of work on my mindsets and triggers and stuff like that, and I still have to work on them, because it's a never-ending thing until you get through them all. But I've done a tremendous amount of work on mine, and that's why I created that program to help women work on their mindsets. But as many of you know, I've been studying and being mentored by a man, and he has, good to see you guys. Hi Alice, nice to see you. I'm talking about mindsets. And I'm talking about the one that's mentoring me, and my coach also introduced me to a man called Neville Goddard, and he was the person that took The Secret and the Law of Attraction and completed the circle for me. I have been studying manifestation and creating and all that stuff for years, and never found it to work for me. I only got a little bit of results, but I never found it to work for me until I came across Neville Goddard from my coach many months ago, and then decided that I wanted to be mentored and learn more about it. And so I'm constantly still learning. But one of the things I keep on telling, I think I've told a couple of you that your imagination is, once you catch how your mind works and what triggers it, and give yourself that little bit of wiggle room to say, is that story that I'm hearing or seeing, is it it doesn't mean anything. And once you start telling yourself that story that our mind it's like a broken record keeps on telling us doesn't mean anything, it gives you a little bit of wiggle room for you to catch it and revise it and change it into something that you really want to create. So I got an email from my mentor today, and it said, what do you do after you imagine? So I keep on talking about the imagination. Some people call it consciousness. Mindsets is all of the same thing that work together and create the life that's around you. And getting a handle on how your particular mind works is key to creating the life that you really want. So I thought it was interesting that I was talking about using your imagination to create something in your life. And I think there was a lady on here, her name was Lara, and she has MS, and she's stuck at home and she's not getting out of her house. So I suggested to her there's a state akin to when you go to sleep that is phenomenal at taking information in. It's the best time. So you sit up, because if you lay down, you'll probably fall asleep. But that when you're getting ready to go to bed, you sit up and then create what I like to call an end game of what one of your true desires are, or what you truly want in your life. So in this case, taking a case in point scenario, she wanted to go out into her courtyard and actually walk out into her courtyard and feel really good about herself and feel the sun on her face. So I told her to imagine that when she went to bed at night before she fell asleep, and when she gets up in the morning before you get out of bed. Those are two really great times to start recreating what you truly want. And if it's little steps, that's a great thing. But so she's been using her imagination to get her out of the house because she's been stuck in the house with the illness and then other things. And then the mind has been messing with her. And so she has been imagining it, and she has seen, just from a couple of nights, she's seen herself. She's walking better already. So that's what I'm talking about, using your imagination. I like to call it an end game result, what you truly want. For me, I've always wanted to go to Hawaii, has been my dream thing. So for me, that would be an end game. I could say, I know I've been successful, or I'm doing really well, and I used my imagination to create the story, because our mind's constantly creating stories that it tells us all the time. So why not make it create stories that you truly desire? So I have been imagining at night. I'm on a beach in Hawaii, and there's all those tents, and I'm having a big old party, the best food. I love lobster, so there's lobster and clams and all fresh seafood and stuff. A great band, and obviously good drinking, and all my family's there, including the ones that just recently passed, and they're all congratulating, Mary, I knew you could do it. You know what I mean? I knew you could do it. I knew you had it in you, and all this thing, because it's something I've always dreamed of, them congratulating me. And I mean, I've been successful in my businesses, but not successful like they have been. So to me, the ultimate picture of success would be on a beach in Hawaii, having a big ass party and having a ball. And that's how you use your imagination to create an end result. And then what's even better is if you're able to look out through your eyes and them congratulating you, and actually you see them, your hand touching their hand, and you're shaking. It's a magical thing. And these are things that I work on in my program, and I'm gonna keep on trying to build on them in the videos, because your imagination is, why not? It's always telling you stories anyways. So once you start cracking open your skull, literally, to see how your mind works, whether it's visually stimulated or it's stimulated by things you hear, or it's a physical sensation, once because I have these lessons that I build on, then you see how your mind, I get triggered by, okay, I hear something and it triggers me, and then you catch the story. It's amazing the stories that we tell ourselves, because it's those stories that are creating what's currently around you. So once you start to pay attention to that, and you start cracking the code, and you start working on that, then you start to, you can use your imagination to create what you really want, because now you really see what you don't want, and then you can create from there. So one of the things that says, one of Neville Goddard's sayings, he says, do something or do nothing. I am so confused, is one of his statements. There's a guy here, so these are questions and answers that go on with my mentor, and questions that they have regarding manifesting and using your imagination. Here's for instance, I want to manifest more money doing what I love, but I keep getting more and more confused with what I am reading on Facebook. Do I need to do anything or not besides imagine what I want? Doesn't doing something imply that it isn't here yet? So what he's saying is, you need to clearly define your aim. So the aim is, for me, I want to feel safe and secure. What would give me safety and security? Well, geez, how would I feel safe and secure? To be successful. Well, what end game, or what could I imagine, or aim as they call it, that I could use my imagination that would make me that I could say, yeah, that would make me feel successful or safe or secure. And that's, for me, would be on a beach in Hawaii. I mean, and having a big old party and my family's there and they're saying, that to me is the aim. Because we're being taught from The Secret and the Law of Attraction that what we want to create, we have to we have to keep on asking for it and making affirmations and intentions and all of that other stuff, and it doesn't work. You have to imagine it from an end game or an end result of what you truly want, and find out what your yes is. My yes is Hawaii. I'm in Hawaii. I'm on a beach. To me, that tells me that I made it. I did it. I'm successful. That's what my yes is. And is it believable? Yeah, because it has to be. It has to be some kind of a storyline that you can believe without a doubt. And so that is a great way to use your imagination. I'm finding phenomenal results with the woman I'm working with, and it's just kind of like taking everything over the top to what I've been doing over the years with consulting and my coaching. So anybody's out there, does anybody have any questions or concerns, or do they want to say anything? Because I started out talking about gremlins because I did my coach call last night. We do that on Monday nights, and she was talking about the gremlins because she started this whole thing about how they mess with you really, really bad, and how and give you different ways to shut them up. And one of them, she uses affirmations and intentions quite extensively. And they do work, but you have to be very consistent with them, and they have to be very specific to you on what your situation is. And if you're religious with them, or whatever you want to call it, you do them morning and night, it's amazing. They chase those gremlins away, and then you can move forward. So it's just a thought that I wanted to put out there. And I see Darlene, good to see you. Alice, nice to see you. How you doing, Alice? I guess you're back from where were you, out west? Good to see you back. Glad to see you here. What do you think of this video? I've been trying to do a live video since last Tuesday. Our affirmations are great. Lara, nice to see you. Glad you're here. Yeah, they do work. They do shut those gremlins up and get you to work on what you want. Now, affirmations, I've been doing them on and off for years, but they've never taken me to the next level. That's why affirmations and intentions are very good to shut them freaking gremlins up and get you moving where you want to go. And it's a great journey to see that. What kind of affirmations do you use, Lara? I'd love to hear some of your affirmations, because I know we were chatting before, and we were talking about different affirmations specific to you, and imagination, because the affirmations are good and intentions are great for stopping the gremlins, but the imagination is even better for creating the kind of life that you want. I used to do them for dating and relationship. And how did that work for you? Do they work out? It's good to see you here after I just chatted with you. I was chatting with you earlier, because you're ready to move forward. I can tell. I'm so glad. Stop doing them. The gremlins, as you call them, crept back in. Yeah, they shut them up till you get to the next level. So I'm not saying affirmations and intentions are bad. I just think that they just shut them the hell up until you get to work on your mind and find out different methods and processes of getting your imagination to now start working for you instead of against you. They're phenomenal. They're just phenomenal things. And I'm just so glad you guys are here. Any more questions or anything else anybody wants to say? As I was saying, so you have to keep doing them though. Yeah, you do have to keep doing them just until you start breaking through the things that you, then you could keep, I think then you change your affirmations. I think affirmations and intentions are great to shut the gremlins up. You do your mindset work, get your imagination in alignment with what you really want. And then the next thing, then you keep recreating. Then you come up with new okay, this affirmation, I don't need this anymore. And you redo it and you revise it to fit your current scenario. So I think until we break through all of that stuff, and sometimes it doesn't happen overnight because we didn't create this life overnight. We created it over long periods of time and over long periods of brainwashing and all kinds of shit that we heard from other people, from the media, from all kinds of stuff that we just trying to find. Anyways, all kinds of things that we have listened to the story that they told us, and we took them on as our own story. Hi, Laura. How are you? Good to see you here. What's going on with the suntan place, man? I can't... did you get your electricity back? I love to get my tanning on. That's one of my self-care methods that I have been applying to myself, because one thing, a year ago or a while ago, when my brother died, I made a decision to live my life, and then I enrolled in school. So then I just graduated, and I'm waiting for it to come in the mail, but I am a certified holistic health coach. And I took that class because I wanted to help others. Lo and behold, I realized that I needed to do a lot. I needed to do self-care on myself. So one of the things that I did self-care was, I love to go tanning. It feels good. It feels good to have I like to have color on me. So I find that very self-caring, just like getting my hair done. Some people like their nails. Another great self-care method is baths with Epsom salt. It's great for pulling toxins out of our body. These are really good for us for self-care. So now that I've digressed a little bit, and I haven't been able to go tanning because something's going on with the electrical whatever's going on over there. So I haven't been able to go tanning, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because it's something that just gives me such pleasure. So the best thing I did was go to that school, because it made me start looking at myself, and I go, you know what? I never wanted to care for myself. I always wanted to care for everybody else. It's easier to care for other people, isn't it? Isn't it easy to care for other people than to actually take a look at ourselves and start taking care of ourselves? Because when the kitties are gone, all right, and the animals are gone, and the exes are gone, there's nobody left but yourself, and so you're left with taking care of yourself. So the thing to do, is to start taking care of yourself right now, because you don't want to wait. You know what I mean? You don't want to wait. So that's why I started finding things that, and I had a dig, and I kicked and screamed because I didn't want to take care of myself. Hell no. I'd rather take care of everybody else. That's easier. But to take care of ourselves is part of the self-love process, and finding out, what stirs your fire. Do you? Like I said, to me, taking a bath was a pain in the goddamn ass, because you had to run the tub and all that other stuff. But then, you know what? I had to learn to take time for myself, and really how enjoyable it was to put the music on, light some freaking candles, buy some great bath sauce, put some Epsom salt in there because it pulls the toxins out of your body. I started adding therapeutic grade essential oils in it. And it's these little things that make, you know what I mean? It's almost like the universe wakes up and says, whoa, she wants to take care of herself. She really wants to take care of herself. And then the things start coming. And I have been recently buying myself some flowers and things like that. There's lots of different, take care of 100 kids, grandma, not much self-care. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, take care of everybody else and not take care of yourself. You have to. You have to, or your body will break. It will break. Believe me. My younger brother, he just died in March, and he had cancer. He fought it he just fought it like no man I ever seen, because he really wanted to live for his children. He had a younger daughter, and to him, his kids were his life. I mean, they were his life. I never seen a better father than him, and he got diagnosed with cancer the same time that my older brother blew his head off. Because he was the executive of his estate, and that's when he found out he had cancer, and he fought the good fight. To make a long story short, the man made it. He was successful. He did it. He pulled himself out of poverty. He had the big house in Cromwell, the Harley, the boat, the Volvo, the big house. But he worked 7 days a week and probably 16, 18 hours a day. But he did know how to have fun. But the cancer took him out because he wasn't paying attention to his body. He wasn't. That's why he wasn't feeding it right. He wasn't giving it the proper nutrition. He wasn't paying any attention to his body at all. So your body will take you out if you don't pay attention. I know this for a fact. 2012, I had a major heart attack, and I died twice. And I'm still here, and I came back to life. So it must be to come on here and bust you guys, you know what. Self-care is so vital. One thing that I took the class, that school for, was to help people get healthier. I ended up getting healthier. I mean, they teach 100 damn dietary theories. Not that I'll ever diet, but what I started doing was just adding in more. It's just adding in better choices, adding in more vegetables. I love vegetables. I just thought it was a pain in the ass to cook them. I didn't want to take the time to take care of myself. I didn't want to take the time to eat properly and that I already knew. So when I took to school, it kind of pushed your face in it, and I just started adding in organic brown rices, vegetables. Now I'm still working some of that out because I still work a lot of hours, and I just finished school, so I'm kind of transitioning around a little bit still. But I do eat better than I ever did, and I feel better than I ever did. And of course, when you eat better, you feel better. All these things add up, and then you start working on your mind. I mean, you can't help but get things better. But the main thing is self-care is monumental, and you have to come first. And we're not, as women, we're not taught to come first. We're taught to take care of everybody else. I took care of my ex-husband. I took care of his kids. I've been doing pet sitting for 17 years. I've been taking care of everybody's pets but my own. So we're not taught to take care of ourselves. And then we get later on in life, we go, where did I go? What happened to me? And, either your body took you out, or it's going to take you places, depression, anxiety, or it's going to give you illnesses. These are all stem from the level of self-love or self-hate that you have for yourself. I'm 58, and I probably have hated myself for over 50 years. And that is so destructive to your body and mind. It's ridiculous. That's why I can't believe that I'm still here. But I'm obviously here to be with you guys, because I want to teach you all of this thing. You're great. I want to teach you all of this stuff that I learned. I mean, I've been down some crazy roads, taken some, done some stuff, but I've studied and researched like you wouldn't believe, because that's my nature. I'm a analytical kind of girl. That's why I did electronics for years, and then I got into pet sitting, so I balance between the scientific and the creative part of myself. And balancing them is the key to it all. But I have so much knowledge. I mean, I'm just getting going. I just did I don't know, Laura, were you on the live video? I just did a live pet sitting video because I wanted to tell some of the people about my points of view from coming in as a pet sitter into these homes that you can't even get into the sink to wash the dog dishes or cat dishes. It's just terrible. But anyways, I wanted to put that out there. I'm trying to have some fun. So, oh, you're great. You're such a sweet Laura. I know. I'm still here and I'm still cooking, kicking. So there must be a reason. There must be a reason. There must be a reason for me to be here. And so when I found my purpose, after my brother died, my older brother, a couple of years ago, he rocked my world because he was really my favorite brother. And it was such a violent death. And that beautiful man, if you ever seen him, I don't say that I have two other brothers. Well, one of them the other one died, but I have one more left. And I didn't say that about him. He was handsome, brilliant, and he had a heart of gold, but he had physical problems with IBS. And he had depression. And I'm not sure which came first. And he had such I'm going to say this mind fucking going on. And I saw him in May a couple of years ago, and he was really messed up, and I couldn't help him now. I could help him now for sure. Absolutely. I have no doubt in my mind from making that decision, from him dying, that I'm going to goddamn live. And I'm going to live, and I'm going to live my purpose. And I always dreamed of having a health building where you can go in. Do you want Reiki? Do you want massage therapy? Do you want use the therapeutic grade essential oils? Do you want a healthy cooking class? Do you want to learn how to healthy cooking class? Do you want, I have so much information about nutrition. I did like 15 multi-level marketing companies, all on nutritional products, water filtrations. I know so much about it because my body was always sensitive to man-made things. So I've been researching for 30 years and used water filters over the years, and I used to sell them. And nutritional products over the years that I came across that I studied and that were really good. So I have a wealth of knowledge about that kind of stuff, and that's my passion. So this coaching is going to lead, I want to still have a health building where you're going to go in there. It's going to be alternative to the current health care system that's out there now that's not working, because people are getting sick, or they're getting fat, or they're getting unhealthy, or they're getting all these things, they're getting, you know what I mean? And it's only because of those awful events that happened in my life, from the depression, from my mother being suicidal, to the incest, to being molested, to being raped, all of that stuff culminated in me doing all of the research into a different modality. I fight with my doctors all the time, when I had the heart attack, so I obviously don't have it all figured out, but I definitely am on the right track. And I firmly believe that our healthcare system needs a freaking kick on the ass. Now, I've been also down the road of depression, and went to the healthcare system to talk to therapists and psychiatrists, and then they put me on the meds. Well, I'm sensitive to meds, and then the meds made me 1,000 times worse. I gained weight. I almost died 10 other times from the medications, and then that they mess with my mind. So do I not have experience with depression, anxiety, and stress, and the healthcare systems and the mental health care systems that I have gone down these roads? I certainly do. And they don't work. They never worked for me. And so I always looked into alternatives. So thank God they didn't work, because I always looked into something else. And so I I got my passion back. I got my purpose back when my brother died. So if that event didn't happen, who knows where I'd be. And as awful as that sounds, and as awful as it is, who the frick knows where I would be. So events in your life create things in your life. And almost sometimes I think they're like a knock on the head to wake you the hell up. Because you're here to bring light into the world. You know, you're here for, there's my mentor. She's trying to get a hold of me because to find your purpose. Us women are meant to wake the hell up to bring our light from within us out into the world. And I think other women are going to help other women. It's going to be a ripple effect. I firmly believe this with every part of my being, that this is why I'm still alive. And each time I make a step forward, I have to fight, like a friend of mine on here, Darling. I had to fight the gremlins who wanted to take me out and take me down and take me out of the down a path. But thank God I had a mentor. And thank God I was a coach at the same time, because I wouldn't have been able to do it by myself. See, the key to everything is my whole life I tried to do everything by myself. I'm like the ace of all. I mean, I can fix from electronics. I can fix anything there is to fix, from hardware to software to heat and ventilation and air conditioning systems to security, medical, and fire alarm systems. I've done it, and I can fix laptop software. I fixed my own fridge many times, but I'll tell you what, I'm tired. And I don't want to fix these things. I would rather do this stuff, work with women and help them come back to, because can you imagine what we could do in this world, what we could do to this world to change it? It's got to come from us, because the woman of the world changes. The friggin' men have fucked it up. Is my opinion. And I don't hate men, but they fucked it up, and they need us to wake up, and we need to take our power back, and we need to empower ourselves, and we need to get our shit together. So, this is what why I do what I do, and I'm very passionate about it, and I'm so glad that I'm here, despite all this shit, to be here with you guys. But I need you to work with me. You know what I mean? I want you to, as much as I give to you, I want you to give to me. And then we can, it's amazing what happens in my life. I can't even begin to tell you. But this isn't about me. This is about you guys. I want to help you guys. I've seen this changing people's lives like you wouldn't believe it. It's a magical ride once you find out how your mind works. Start applying the self-care, start applying the lessons and the program, and start working through that stuff. And yes, the gremlins are going to come in, and yes, they're going to try to steal your voice and steal your power until you go, fuck you. You're not going to take it. And I'm not saying I'm up on this pedestal. I'm not saying I don't have my days still. But I'll tell you what, coming from a place where I couldn't get out of bed, if I didn't have the pet sitting business and I had to get out of the bed and take care of these animals, or my animals, I wouldn't have got out of freaking bed. If I didn't have to take care of animals, I wouldn't have got out of bed. And sometimes I didn't take a shower. Sometimes I couldn't even, all I could do was wash my face, brush my teeth, and roll out of bed and take care of these animals. Well, thank God I had them. Thank God I had mine. Because I wouldn't have been able to get up. My depression was so bad. My depression was just as bad as my brother's that killed himself. I have 4 suicides in my family. Come on. But I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter, and I want to fight with you guys, but I'm not going to do it by myself. You know what I mean? I want to fight with you guys to give you what I know is inside of you, because it's inside of me, and I never knew it. I never knew it till somebody showed me that, but I don't want to get on my high horse. I think a lot of us have been there. Yeah. That's why I do what I do. Because I think it's a ripple effect. Do you know what I mean? When one person changes, then they change another one and another one and another one and another one. And it keeps on ricocheting out. like that drop in the ocean until it goes out into the world. But it's all, to me, it's going to become, I just want to work with women. I don't want to work with no men at all. Not at this point. I just want to work with women that are willing to commit and listen and are ready. And I'll know they're ready by the way. That's why I do the processes I do with the I always put the link below for the breakthrough call. So it's a 45-minute free breakthrough call, and then I send you an email which has a bunch of questions in them, and they're really deep and they're very stimulating questions to see if we're on the same page, and then we go through quite more in depth on that in the breakthrough call. And then I have a program after that, but I like to do the breakthrough call to see if we can work together, because I don't have time to play with people that just can't, they just can't do it. I want to work with women, or I am working with women that are ready. And I am so excited that I'm here. Laura, I'm so excited to do a call with you tomorrow. It's exciting. I did send you the email, so answer those questions and get them back to me as soon as you can. And we do have an event. I think it's at 6:30 tomorrow, but I am going to put the breakthrough call link below. I think I got to look at my schedule, but I think I'm full up this week, but I might have some openings next week for anybody that's live. And I want to hear what your comments and your posts and any questions that you have. Post it in the group, because that group is a private group, and nobody has access to it. And I keep on meaning to tell everybody that's on this. That's in this group. It is a safe space. I created it that way, and and I need to reiterate this again, and I'm going to be doing that in my videos, that whatever's talked about in the group stays in the group, so that we all respect each other, just like they do in the 12-step programs. Let's keep what we hear in the group, not go around talking, it needs to be kept in the group, so that the women in here are coming there and they need to feel that they have a safe and comfortable place to come to talk and discuss and to open up. And I wanted to create that place. Yeah. 100 what? But anyways, I wanted 100 what, darling? But I definitely wanted to create that place of safety in there, and that I needed to keep on reiterating in the group, and I'm going to probably post it again, that what's said in this group is not to be gossiped and talked about, whatever, because if I find 100%, because if I find out that, then I will, I will take you out of the group. This is supposed to be, this, what goes on there stays there, and is not to be discussed, because that's why it's a private group. You only can get in, if you answer some questions and you keep the anonymity in the group, because otherwise it's not going to work. But I'm glad you're still there, darling, 100%. Yeah, keep it private. It has to be that way. And eventually, when we move forward, I'm going to have a membership-only site. So that's even going to be, you're going to get, more access to much more privileged information. But that's further on down the line. This private group hasn't been, well, it's been a while, about 6 months, I think, but, and it's just building momentum, and it's really, really getting some wonderful ladies that are just, trying to get their head out of their ass and move forward. And I'm just so glad to be here with you guys. Does anybody have any questions or concerns or anything like that? I love that you came back, darling. You got my heart, honey. And Tara, Lara, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. I think I'm still going to do the live. No, I'm going to have the event tomorrow night at 6:30, I think it is. and that's the Wheel of Life, and that I'm going to be using the Zoom application. So you register, and it will send you the link. All you do is click on the link, use your laptop, something that has a camera, so that we could see each other and talk to each other. And that way it's not a one-way, because I'm talking and you guys typing. It kind of misses the rapport that I like to see. So my mentor uses the Zoom application, and I'm going to start using it as well. And I just signed up for the pro version, so I can have a bunch of us women on there, seeing if we could, get things, engage with each other and talk about more thoroughly on the mindset work and the lessons that we've talked about the past week. But if you have anything you want to talk, please post me, or if you want to private message me, that would be great. I am going to drink my coffee and relax, because I just did a live video for the pet sitting, and it was hysterical. And the feedback that I got from it is incredible. But anyways, it's so great to see you ladies here. Use your imagination. As I said before, the first lesson is looking around your life and seeing what you're creating. Then look and see how are you visually stimulated. Do you see something and catch the story? That's where you start breaking your current mindsets. But I'm glad you're here. I'm going to say ciao. It's not too late here, but I want to I got some work still to do. And it was great to see you guys, ladies, here. And you guys have a great evening, and I will talk to you tomorrow night. Bye.